You have a lot of teams that, again, they get a month of practice, new teammates, they go through their honeymoon phase, they're winning here, they're losing some scrims, whatever it may be, like they're bonding as a team, they're making the right adjustments, but we had no time to make adjustments. We had no time to bond as a team. We had no time to, fix these issues.
No honeymoon phase.
No honeymoon phase. Most of the things people already know, I would say. Kind of like the troubles that we faced outside of just the, nitty-gritty details of a team. We went through and covered a lot of the visa issues that we had. We covered the sort of late start to the season, and as well as just the shifting and changing that we went through during the off season.
It's actually a disappointment looking back on it. We have capable people to finally make playoffs, and then we just failed. I think we're all capable. Like, we all have the talent to do it. We all have the drive and like the knowledge to actually make playoffs. But it's just we either choke or we don't have good enough teamwork to actually make it happen. We all just barely came together, little to no scrims before we started playing together, and then we had to play LCS together, and from there we're just snowballing our problem because we have no time to talk it out.
I think overall spring split was pretty good for me. Obviously there was like some problems, which is going to come up in any team. I think for the most part we can be pretty civil. I think everyone's pretty chill, but I think on any team, there's always going to be points in time where people don't agree about everything. And a lot of time, the fastest way through it is just people are being honest about how they feel. Like, if they're pissed at someone, they just say it. And, they'll probably start an argument, but it gets resolved and, people move on.
Really just weren't playing as a team. There was no team identity.
We all just barely came together, little to no scrims before we started playing together, and then we had to play LCS together, and from there we're just snowballing our problem because we have no time to talk it out.
The main issue though with finding a team identity was that it almost felt like we had no leader this split. Only so much throughout the game can Big be the leader in the team.
Yeah, it's really hard because I think it changes every week and how people feel going into the game. So sometimes I'll be lost and maybe I won't even know what to do. Maybe I'm just looking for someone to give me the solution.
No, Big actually really misses POV.
It would have been nice having Power Evo again. I thought he was could be a core of the team, someone who just leads everyone in and out of the game. Even if he doesn't really direct us in game, he'll keep the mood up or try his best to. And then out of the game, he's really open, he's really nice. He'll listen and give you his opinion no matter what it is.
Tristan, I think PoE and Crown have very two different play styles. Power of Evil is someone that will ask and demand for something. If he needs his jungle in his lane, he will tell you, come and gank my lane. Whereas Crown is a very selfless player, and it's shown throughout his whole career he's a selfless player. If the team needs him to pick something for the team, he'll pick it. With Crown, later on in the split, we had to tell him, play selfishly. I think Crown is a leader through his personality and through his work ethic.
Probably the teammate that has stood out the most to me since I've been here has been Crown. I didn't really have too much of an opinion of Crown before this split started. Like, obviously I've seen him play in Korea. I played against him in Worlds a few years ago. As far as his personality, I didn't know too much, but he definitely surprised me in a really good way. He's just an extremely nice guy, like very good player, and like I've never once seen him like make anyone else feel bad, and he responds really well to criticism. Like, he could be playing, 10 times better than anyone else in a specific game, and then somebody points out a mistake he made, and rather than being like, oh, well, like, you guys are all playing bad, he's just like, okay. He's also been like extremely hardworking with learning English, because I know when he first came here, his English was like new. Now his English is getting pretty good, where I feel like I can just have a conversation with him. It's pretty motivating to have a teammate like that. It just makes me want to like try harder, so I can be a good teammate to him too.
He's setting the example to be what it means to be a professional player in League of Legends. It's not hard because I think he's just a selfless person in general. I think that the issue lies where the language barrier comes into play when you want to be demanding. We did tryouts with Big and Gate as well in Summer Split, as well as another support, and we liked Gate and Big when we went in. We thought that Gate fit better for the academy team because he felt like he was someone that was way more knowledgeable about the game in terms of like teaching, right? Like he's a really good teacher.
At least for me, it's really easy to talk to everyone on the LCS team because they're all my friends. I feel like we all get along. They want to hear what I have to say. Usually it's just something stupid about the game, like my opinion, but I actually do think most of them just listen.
Yeah, so Arrow wasn't here early on, so we had to, whenever we scrim, we had to swap players around, so it was really unstable for a lot of it. Like for me personally, I had to play with our Academy AC Asta, and since he's really new.
After a couple of days, there was a lot of frustration with Asta. That's mostly because you're almost expecting to have someone put in that place and perform, right? Arrow has been there, Arrow is there.
Like, Neo's super good at the game mechanically. He's like one of the best players I've seen, but obviously like English isn't his first language, and just the competitive inexperience is not something you could possibly know without like going through it.
You look at how Big and Meteos work together in the games, and they actually worked very well together. But there was definitely, I guess, clashing issues outside of the game. Meteos saw how to play the game one way, and Big saw how the game should be played another.
Initially on joining the team, me and Terry didn't always see eye to eye on things.
Yeah, I would say this was probably around like week 3 or so. We, I think, heavily relied on Meteos to be this leader. It's not something he was used to doing. And it's nothing to even fault him for, but it's something that I think we definitely heavily relied on him to do.
I always thought since the start that it would be me making like the general call, but as it went on more and more, it felt more like he wanted to do it to me.
Having your support be your leader is also kind of like a wary thing. I think that in most teams, it's gonna be the mid laner or the jungle, but he's gonna be the guy that is gonna tell you what he wants.
I kind of like called him out in review because I felt like he was being way too aggressive with the way that he was giving feedback. Me and Zab are the most outspoken about like our opinions on the game, and we're the more like confrontational people on the team.
Yeah, it did get tense because honestly, I think it was like, of course it was me and him have our arguments, but it's also the direction you really want to go in as a coach. Will you impose onto the player what you want, or should they try to like just figure out what direction they all want to play, A
lot of time the fastest way through it is just people are being honest about how they feel. Like if they're pissed at someone, they just say it, and they'll probably start an argument, but it gets resolved.
The team should really speak up on how they want to play, and if something goes wrong or something they don't like something, we just all talk it out.
yeah, they seemed so stressed. It really felt like everyone really wanted their best to, like, they gave their all to win. They gave their best to win. And in the end, it was burning them. And I felt like everyone was getting burnt out by the end of the split.
The GGS game.
It was just 100% stress. Like, not even 100, like 120%. I felt like everyone's like afraid to do the wrong thing, or just just something wrong goes, like something small goes wrong in the game, and everyone's like, wow, I cannot deal with this. Everyone's on edge.
You know, I work very closely with Zab. He's someone who's tough and critical on everything that he does. He cuts through the bullshit. He's not one that you would hire to handle any sort of PR statement or decision or anything like that. He is the guy that's going to tell you how it is. Stress got to him more so this split than the previous splits.
Maybe players are extra disappointed after a few splits. The older player of OpTic is Arrow. I've been working since forever with him because I started last year, so I met Arrow in November 2017. So it's been a long time. I've talked to Arrow, and sometimes we just talk to each other casually, like from person to person more than player to coach. And he feels extra disappointed because he thinks that we can do better. I'm convinced I'm doing what I should be doing, and I should do more. I'm not saying that that's perfect because obviously we're losing, but it's hard not to think that you suck.
He's the coach. He's like responsible for everything. It's just like, I wouldn't want to be in his situation. It's a tough job, man. I feel so lucky to, have him being able to take the front of it, because I don't think I could do his job.
Pressure hits like a truck during the whole season. So first it's chill for me, at least personally, and then I'll be back with probably a new mindset.
I think these days things are a lot better. I feel like I have a pretty good relationship with everyone on the team. Like, I think me and Terry like understand each other more, and we can sort of communicate much better. I think there's like not much tension between us. Like, if he thinks I should do something different, he'll just tell me. If I think he could do something different, I'll tell him. It's been very constructive when we're in review. Like, haven't really been too many heated arguments or anything like that. Like, we're all just getting along. And I know for me personally, I'm just trying to be like as open-minded as possible.
Yeah, I think the split coming up feels way better. Like, getting scrims in before LCS, not having visa problems anymore, having everyone be here and just like communicate more. Everyone's more, to me, it feels more involved and engaged.
That's a huge thing for us, I think, going into the summer split. Being able to find this comfortable medium and environment for our players to make sure that they are having fun with the game. And making sure that there is that identity for our team to know this is who we are, this is what we are, and this is why we're going to win.